I used to spend hours every week checking my bank accounts, keeping up with bills, and moving money around to make sure I never missed a payment. I spent more time stressed than I felt relaxed about money, and I hid away from my debt because trying to manage it felt like a second job. Then I stopped. I automated everything. Money comes in and out of accounts without me needing to do anything every single day, and I feel so much freer because of it. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it and how you can do the same thing to automate your financial life. So why should you bother automating your finances? Well, unless you want to be logging into your bank every single day, making payments here, there, and everywhere, it's far simpler just to set it up once, forget about it, and know that it's all being handled even while you're sleeping. This is the peace of mind factor that has made my life so much easier, because now I don't need to think about all of the bills that are happening. I know that there's money there and it's going to be paid. Step one in this process is understanding exactly how much money is coming in and out of your account in a given pay cycle. Now, for some people, this will be weekly, like myself. For some people, this will be monthly, and then there are people that are paid in between that as well. And if you're working as a self-employed person, your money in might actually come even more irregular than that. The best thing that you can do is start to understand when your money comes in and when it leaves your bank. The only way of doing that is to actually look at what's happened. Look back for the last month, the last 2 months, see when money comes in, see when money goes out, and then you can start to get a picture. Look through every transaction. Look through all of your bills that are expected every single month. Put them into a spreadsheet with the date and the amount. That is going to be our basis for setting up the automations. For me, all of this information lives in YNAB. You need a budget. It's a budgeting app that starts from zero. You have to assign money a job before you're allowed to spend it. I've done a video already on YNAB and I will put it up here for you to have a look at. One thing that's really important is trying to work out what of our expenses are fixed, are going to be the same all the time, and what's variable. So as an example, your rent or your mortgage is a fixed payment. You know what it's going to be every single month, whereas your shopping, for example, might be variable, as well as money that you're putting towards gifts for people's birthdays or for Christmas. So what you should have is a list of expenses which has the date, when it happens, the amount, and then whether it is fixed or variable. So whether the amount stays the same or differs each month. From here, you're going to find every single one of your bills and you're going to go into your bank account and you're going to set up some direct debits. This might have to be done from the bank. This might have to be done from the place that your bill is coming from. So you might have to log into your utilities company online and set up a direct debit. The idea of a direct debit is that you set up and you say to that company, I'm willing for you to take X amount of money each month on this day, and that will cover me for my bills. The benefit of this, of course, is it becomes far more routine, far more regular, and you're able to actually predict when money is going to leave your account. For our gas and electric, for example, that money goes out every single month. It's the same payment, and then every so often they give you a review and they say, oh, you owe us some extra money, or we owe you some money, and they move your bills around accordingly. But you tend to have a set fee for about a 3-month period before it gets reviewed. Usually these direct debits will need to come out at a particular point in the month, but you can request for a date change on them. This can be really useful because if you know that you're getting paid every 27th of the month, if you set all of your bills to go out on the 28th or the 29th, by the time you get round to the start of the new month, the only money that should be left in there is money for either variable expenses or fun money for you to go out and spend how you see fit. What you can also do alongside these direct debits is set up some standing orders. A standing order is a scheduled payment that happens on a regular basis, and it sends money from one bank account to another. A prime example of this, I have standing orders set up every single week. I'm paid weekly, and the way that it works, money comes into one account from my employer, and then I have standing orders that go out to different accounts for different reasons. I have one account that handles my credit card payments, I have one account that handles all of my bills, and then I also have a savings account. Money leaves my main account every single week and goes into those accounts before I even wake up. This can be an amazing idea if you are someone that sees money in your bank account and wants to spend it straight away. Send that money somewhere else. It will stop you from even being tempted to spend it. So as well as all of your bills, if you have any outstanding debts, outstanding credit cards that you need to pay off, then you can start to set up your direct debits for them too. There are a few options for your credit cards. You can pay when you like, so you can log into the app and you can make a payment each time that you get your bill, or you can set up a direct debit as we're talking about here. And within the direct debit, there's a few different options. You can either pay the very minimum amount that is required, and this will mean that your debt lasts for longer and it takes longer time to pay off. You can pay a custom amount. This tends to be somewhere between the minimum payment and the total that is on the credit card. And then you also have the pay in full. When you get your statement through and it gives you your new balance, that balance is the exact amount of money that is going to be taken from your bank account when the bill becomes due. In one of my last videos, I took you through my debt payoff spreadsheet that I use. I'll again link that up here and down in the description for you to have a look at. In that spreadsheet, it tells you the amount of money that you should be paying each month. Those figures tend to stay the same for a certain number of months. So head into your credit card application or online, set up a direct debit for that amount of money, and then set yourself a reminder either on your phone or on a physical calendar to then go and change it the month before that amount changes in the spreadsheet. If you are actively using any credit cards and you're assigning the money ahead of time, use the pay in full. This means that every time the month ends and every new statement that you get, you're going to pay off the balance completely. You're not going to be charged interest for using your credit card, and you're going to be paying it off to get back to zero at the start of every single month. Finally, just to kind of show that I'm not a complete robot when it comes to my finances, there are some things that I don't automate. Some money does stay in my bank account for me to spend on a day-to-day basis as normal. This is my buffer. This is how much money I need to keep living week by week, while everything else, all of the important stuff that has to leave my bank accounts on particular days, is all managed by the bank accounts themselves, by direct debits and standing orders. I essentially have all these little pots of money that are working for me, and money gets moved between them automatically, so I don't have to worry about doing all of that admin every single time. I set it up once and it continues forever. Then it is simply the task of checking in. Once a week I log on and I make sure that all of my bank accounts are where they're supposed to be, where I'm expecting them to be, make sure every payment that was supposed to happen has happened. And if something goes wrong, 9 times out of 10, if you've been keeping up with your payments throughout and one goes missing, you can phone up the supplier and you can say, look, I'm really sorry. As you can see, I've been making my payments for so long. There seemed to have been a problem with this one. Could I pay it now with no fees? Typically, they're pretty open to conversations like that. As a takeaway for this video, I would like you to go and automate one thing in your finances. I know in the UK where I'm talking, direct debits are quite a normal thing, but in America, for example, they're not at all. You get your utilities bills and then you have to make those payments. So I would like you to go and take one utility bill, find how much money you spend on it each month, find what day of the month it has to be, and try and work out with the supplier how you can set up an automated payment either by direct debit or standing order. Once you've done that, I would like you to comment down below what payment you have automated. What was it for and why did you choose to do that one? And maybe put in there why you've never automated it before. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to check out my debt repayment spreadsheet and my video on YNAB to work out how I budget all of my money.